Hello guys, this is Felipe from the Noob Trader, and in this video I'm going to try and help beginners answer the question, should or I buy altcoins, or is it too late now in this current market to buy altcoins? If you like this video at the end after watching, please consider giving it a like or leaving a comment, okay? I'll try and answer any questions. But obviously, as everybody knows, over the last couple of days, the overall cryptocurrency market has really broken past this 2 trillion barrier as of now. If we're right now, I'm looking at the overall or the total market cap for cryptocurrencies on the day chart, and as we can see, we've now had 2 days past this real 2.1 trillion dollar market cap mark. And now we've passed, or we're kind of reaching resistance at this previous point of resistance over here around 2.2 trillion. Oops, sorry. Around 2.2 trillion, just around here, right? So um, hopefully what we're going to see with the overall crypto market cap is that we either consolidate here now or we pull back a bit, and actually make support at this $2 trillion range, which was previous resistance, right? And then start going back up further from there, okay? But as you can see, in terms of the overall crypto market cap, we're really getting close back to those all-time highs, but we're not there yet. And the reality is that if we're thinking about the overall crypto total market cap, and if you consider the fact that if we break past this let's say the $2.5 trillion mark, and we want to start going, let's go even further back. And we really believe that this is going to be an expanding cycle in terms of the actual money inflowing into this market, right? Last time we peaked at close to around 750, right? If we're talking about, potentially really expanding in this cycle significantly, right? To a level of 3 trillion or 4 trillion or 5 trillion dollars in terms of the overall market cap, okay, which just given this bubble and the speculation going on, okay, I don't think it's totally ridiculous to imagine a $5 trillion crypto market cap where we have these crazy blow off tops on different projects, right, where we hit these ridiculous all-time highs, but then kind of start coming crashing back down and then start signaling a real kind of bear market. What I would suggest is that you, as a investor in cryptocurrencies or as a trader, you need to really decide, where is it going to be the peak in terms of the overall crypto market cap. If you really believe that we're going to be breaking past this all-time high in terms of crypto market cap, where do you think we're going to go? Are we going to go to 3 trillion, 4 trillion, 3.5 trillion, whatever? You need to make this kind of judgment based on looking at uh, the market cap that certain projects have right now, which are certainly reaching pretty ridiculous levels, right? I mean, let's be real here. Definitely a bubble, but that's okay. We accept that this is a bubble, and now we need to determine how big this bubble is going to go before we see it pop, right? But even if, let's say, you're more on the conservative side and say, okay, yeah, we're going to break the $2.5 trillion mark, but we're only going to reach a level of 3 trillion, right? Based on whatever research you do, right? You can look into all the different long-term research or theories of how big this cycle is going to be. There's so many different theories on this bullshit. There's thousands of YouTube videos on this. Go do your research. You can choose which one you think you're going to believe in, or you can just make a simple judgment based on looking at overall market cap right now, comparing it to other asset classes like gold, silver, um, just looking at overall these projects and their total market cap and comparing it to other companies with similar market caps and seeing, okay, how high could this really go? You can use whatever method you want, but ultimately, if you even believe on the conservative side that we could really see a situation where we only reach like $3 trillion in terms of overall market cap before we start coming back down, crashing hard, well, then that clearly still signals, right? That would be around here. That still clearly signals that we have room to go. And therefore, right, especially when you're looking at all the projects that are dominating the market, investing in altcoins, you still have time. You still have time to get in. But there's no doubt that the chance or the time to get in is slowly diminishing as everything continues to move up. and we start seeing more and more euphoria in the markets, and we start seeing more and more projects going on these parabolic runs, okay? Like we've seen with Solana, with Avalanche, and all these types of projects over the last few weeks, Phantom, all right? So that's the first thing, all right? Consider the market cap and determine, right, how high you're going to go. I think there's still time, but the time is diminishing. Another thing that you can really start doing is also looking at the Bitcoin dominance, right? We've looked at this chart before. When I was saying before, when we were pulling back that it was starting to look very bearish, I was keeping an eye at this 50% mark, which we all basically hit around the week of the 26th of July, right? And we actually got a really, really strong bounce at that 50% price support range, right? And now we're going back down and we're retesting this all-time, well, I guess you could say all-time low in terms of Bitcoin dominance, right? At around 40%. Now, we have to also consider the reality of this market right now, right? If just given how much projects have grown, how there are actual protocols right now like ETH and Avalanche, Matic, or whatever that have genuine use case, right, and genuine usage and real money on those protocols right now, and just given how the valuations of all these projects are just are expanding, also with NFTs and also the use cases around that, although that's still super, super speculative, no doubt. But just given everything and how everything has grown and the amount of projects in the space, right? You're going to naturally presume that Bitcoin dominance is going to continue to plummet. And we're probably going to act, if we really break the $2.5 trillion market cap level, we're going to see Bitcoin dominance probably go way below 40%. And we could potentially be looking in terms of the altcoin space, right? Just given how much their valuations are going to increase versus Bitcoin, we could easily see alts trend towards 30% range, the 25% range. Who knows where we're going to actually go? But the point is that again, if you think about the Bitcoin dominance charts and you think about it in that way, that given how alts are just going parabolic, right, versus Bitcoin, which has just been continuing this trend. And let's say you think Bitcoin is going to go to 100K or 150K, right? Well, if that really happens and the market cap pushes like that, alts are probably going to dominate Bitcoin in terms of the actual moving and the valuation increases that it sees. So what you really want to do is you also want to keep an eye on this chart, right? Let's say we draw the 30% mark here, 30% range. You want to see like, once we break the 40% level, right? And I'm sure we're going to see some resistance there, just like we're going to see resistance at the 2.5 trillion mark, right? If we break that, are we going to get down to that level? And if you consider the room we have to run there, then yes, it is, again, in my opinion, still an okay time to get into altcoins. But again, we're approaching that level and we're approaching it quite fast now. So if you really want to start getting into altcoins and potentially try and make some money on some gains, the time is really going to be now, right? Over the next few days or weeks. Who knows how much longer we're going to still be in this place before we start breaking those all-time highs. And as we've seen constantly again and again and again in crypto markets, if you look at individual project or overall market cap, when the market breaks all-time highs, it'll tend to go on this pretty strong price discovery journey, right? And we're probably going to see the same thing again here. So with that being said, this is the time, if you're really interested in a project, okay, to really take a look at it and potentially try and build a position, right? How do you know which project, for example, let's look at ETH right now. Like how do you know which project is going to be the right one? If you're a beginner, right? If you're a beginner, I would suggest simply I have three tips, right? The first one is follow the trend, right? What is hot in the crypto space right now? It's DeFi protocols, which are now launching incentive programs like Avalanche, Phantom, and all these different types of things. Cardano is surely going to have something like that as well, right? Where like they're going to start paying people to put their money on the Cardano ecosystem, right? So it's these kind of protocols and all the subsequent projects, right? All the subsequent DeFi projects built on those platforms, the tokens, the farm tokens, the exchanges, the dexes, all those different types of things. Those projects for those hot kind of DeFi plays are going to really dominate, right? Or that's really what's dominating now, and it's going to continue to dominate. So what you want to do, you want to follow that kind of trend. You want to look at that space, find a project which maybe hasn't done a crazy multiple run-up like Solana, right? Find some deals, find some projects which are maybe consolidating, and then then take the opportunity to buy in at that particular time, okay? So that's tip 2. Find projects which are following the trend, consolidating, or maybe haven't gone on those crazy run-ups. That's why I knew, for example, a few weeks ago that DOT was a good potential buy, right? Because DOT hadn't done the crazy multiple run-ups, even though it's a protocol which is surely going to have decentralized projects built on it sooner or later, right? I'm sure it's going to make an announcement soon. And it hadn't done that crazy parabolic run-up, and sure enough, that's what it ended up kind of doing over the last week or so, right? So look for these types of projects, okay? Look, for example, into the Cardano ecosystem and see what kind of projects are being built, and is there any investment opportunities there, or is there any yield farming opportunities there to actually get the tokens for free using stable coins, right? Look into these things, okay? This is what I highly suggest. And then the tip 3 would be when you look again at the overall market cap, for example, right? Just looking at overall market cap and just the general crypto industry. We're not going to just go like a rocket, most likely. We're not going to just go like a rocket and break right through like this. That's not going to happen, right? There are still going to be pullbacks. There's still going to be times when people get liquidated, and we may see 10%, 20%, 25% pullbacks as we start this bull run, right? Think about the last time when we were reaching up towards a 2.5 trillion. How many times did we see a 10, 15, 20, 25% pullback? I think if I remember correctly, at least 6 times, right? And we haven't really seen a real pullback like that yet. Okay, so step 3 is think about the pullback, think about the long term, and don't freak out at the pullback, but instead buy those dips, okay, until from a longer term time frame standpoint, it really looks like we could be reaching a level or a point where we may actually topple over. Okay, but don't get freaked out by 15 or 20% dips in the coming weeks, right, or the coming days, especially before the $2.5 trillion mark, where we could be breaking through and then really going on that crazy price discovery journey. Take advantages of these opportunities if you want to get into altcoins right now, okay, whether that's DeFi coins, protocol coins, or projects, gaming coins like Engine, NFT projects, okay? Take advantage of pullbacks in the market, because once we get past this all-time high, that's going to be when it's going to start, your risk to reward is just going to start diminishing and diminishing and diminishing. Okay, guys? Hope that was clear, or at least my opinions were clear. Let me know what you think. Hope you found this advice useful. And yeah, if you have a question, just leave a comment and I'll definitely respond. And anyways, take care, guys.